and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda N, and today I'm doing a topic that someone near and dear to me has requested, which is Nikola Tesla. I know this isn't so much a mystery as he's more of a historical figure, but there's still a lot of strange mysteries around him, Edison, time travel, you name it. I won't be able to discuss everything, otherwise we'd be here a while, but let's take a brief look at who he was and what he's rumored to have discovered. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in Smiljan, Croatia, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His father was a priest in the Serbian Orthodox Church, and his mother managed the family's farm. In 1863, Tesla's brother, Daniel, was killed in a riding accident. The shock of the loss supposedly unsettled the 7-year-old Tesla, who reported seeing visions, the first signs of his lifelong mental illnesses. He studied math and physics at the Technical University of Graz and philosophy at the University of Prague. One of his first inventions came in 1882 when he had the idea for a brushless AC motor. He emigrated to the US a couple years later and was hired as an engineer at Thomas Edison's Manhattan headquarters. Most of us, I think, know this story and have heard about it in history class. Tesla faced rejection, even from Edison himself, but he left behind an incredible legacy. According to History.com, Tesla relocated to Colorado Springs for 2 years, returning to New York in 1900. He secured backing from financier J.P. Morgan and began building a global communications network centered on a giant tower at Wardenclyffe on Long Island. But funds ran out, and Morgan balked at Tesla's grandiose schemes. Tesla lived his last decades in a New York hotel, working on new inventions even as his energy and mental health faded. His obsession with the number 3 and fastidious washing were dismissed as the eccentricities of a genius. He spent his final years feeding, and he claimed communicating with, the city's pigeons. Tesla died in his room on January 7, 1943. Later that year, the U.S. Supreme Court voided 4 of Marconi's key patents, belatedly acknowledging Tesla's innovations in radio. The AC system he championed and improved remains the global standard for power transmission. But what about the weird stories? What about the inventions and the rumors? There are a ton of conspiracy theories centered around Nikola Tesla, and in a lot of my research, as well as movies that depict him like The Prestige, he's seen as this unconventional mad genius, hidden from the world. He's not as mainstream or known as Edison or Benjamin Franklin, some may argue, and perhaps that's what gives this legacy and this air of intrigue around him. Jade Nice, a WHS journalist, wrote in 2019 that her conspiracy theory of Nikola Tesla is based on factual opinion. I sort of have to disagree with her right out of the gate. Something can't be purely opinion and also pure fact. Like, the Earth revolves around the sun. That's not a factual opinion, it's just a fact. I think she means a research-based opinion, but anyway, wording aside, Jade says that she believes Tesla was a time traveler who suffered side effects caused by a huge jump in space-time. As opposed to having a mental illness, his white flashes and OCD were due to time-traveling side effects. If any of you have seen my other video about proof of time travelers, which go check it out if you haven't, by the way, then you'll know I take evidence of time travel with a grain of salt. Not because I don't want to believe, but because it's a very bold claim to make that science doesn't yet support. However, Jade continues and states, he believed that we could illuminate the Earth artificially because the gases in the atmosphere could carry high-frequency electrical currents, thus causing it to light up due to electrical transmission through these currents. This man even told everyone that he knew the people in the world would pollute the air, causing what we consider global warming, and completely use up our renewable resources. Therefore, he went on a mission in attempts to create another way to develop renewable energy. He did not want us to run out because he feared it terribly. He created induction motors, hydroelectric power plants, telephone voice amplifiers, and over 275 different patents in 26 different countries. Tesla had claimed what we call a death ray is a possible invention as well, and that he had already created this one. He said he invented the machine that ran on cosmic radiation, although nobody got the chance to actually see it due to the fact that later that year he had been struck by a car and passed away in a hotel which he had been living in. I also find it shady that when he passed, the United States military had rushed to his hotel room and gathered the papers he had, describing the inventions he had both already made and perhaps planned to make in the future. Most of them still remain unknown to this day. Now, this is the first rumored invention, the death ray, that comes to mind when people think of Tesla. A part of me feels like it's almost impossible. Like, how could this be hidden for so long, and why the military wouldn't use it in wars to follow? After all, the devastating atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki occurred after Tesla died, so why was his death ray not as powerful as an atomic bomb? Or did it need more developing? Why not end World War II that way? I don't know, the idea of a death ray seems like it's something out of a supervillain cartoon for me, but Jade is far from the only one with this theory. All That's Interesting claims Tesla designed it in order to eliminate warfare altogether, so that it could vaporize leaders or soldiers without harming citizens and ending a war quickly. Which frankly sounds kind of horrifying. I guess I've got something new to be afraid of, but they say Tesla's high-minded dreams were limited by a serious problem. No one was interested in funding the project. He approached the governments of the United States and the Soviet Union, among others, but none offered any money for it. And of course, it's hard to build a massive death ray without some cash, which Tesla was, at the time, chronically short of. Even though he got backing from JP Morgan, he apparently wasn't good with money. Also, considering that the United States and the Soviet Union weren't interested, it makes me wonder how legitimate this project really was. I feel like if I were one of those governments during wartime, I might have hopped on that opportunity. But anyway, one night in 1937, at a meeting at the Yugoslavian embassy, Tesla told the room that not only was his invention possible, but he had already built one. In fact, he would be unveiling it to the world in a matter of months. However, if Tesla had built a death ray, the world would never see it. Later that same year, Tesla was struck by a car. He never fully recovered and, as we know, died in his hotel room. However, there's one key difference between this telling of the story and Jade's. According to Jade, the military gathered up everything he had, but according to this source, the military didn't officially find everything, or anything for that matter. I'm inclined to believe that something did exist, but it may have not been as useful as we think. After all, this was over 70 years ago. If a death ray were possible, I think the military would have developed it by now and used it in one of the wars we've been involved in since, especially if they had these papers. Perhaps a different version of it, but I think this tech would be utilized, unfortunately. But by the same token, I also don't think Tesla was just downright lying, either about working on this or having it. After all, why brag about an invention that he invented to unveil if he didn't even have notes on the project? Tesla may very well have developed a death ray. I just don't know if I believe it worked or was complete. But as for the time travel claims, some people back it up with Tesla's descriptions. They say that Tesla described modern smartphones with vivid details. He described a device that would be used for video and telephone calls, which would be portable and able to carry in a vest pocket. However, Tesla wasn't the only one. Many visionaries, sci-fi writers, and the like have predicted smartphones. I don't think this is reason to call someone a time traveler. I think holograms, flying cars, all that's been predicted time and time again, but it doesn't make someone a time traveler. It just means someone's got a good futuristic imagination. Yet, the way Tesla spoke, as if he knew the secrets of the universe with such conviction, still has people believing he wasn't an ordinary man. One article from Bugged says Tesla always walked around a block 3 times before entering a building, chose hotel rooms that had a number divisible by 3, and washed his dishes with 18 napkins only. Some say this is a sign that he had very severe OCD, but some believed that he had the secrets of the universe. Tesla said, if you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe. So, is this someone with a key to the universe? Someone that can time travel? Or is this someone justifying severe OCD? Anyone who's watched this channel knows I really try to approach these topics with a really healthy dose of skepticism, so I'm inclined to believe the OCD. After all, I don't know that someone with keys to the universe would suffer for years before passing away, nor be so poor and struggling during his lifetime. But that's just me. This bugged article takes it a step further, though, and genuinely tries to figure out this key. They explain what was it that Tesla wanted the world to understand, how it became Nikola Tesla 369 theory. To understand that, we must first know about mathematics. Why is it so different, yet the same anywhere in the universe? Maths was, and has been, the most valued subject of all time, and the most powerful too. 2 plus 2 will always be 4 everywhere. Possibly Nikola Tesla knew the power of the numbers 369. The golden ratio in mathematics is a special number found by dividing a line into 2 parts, such that the longer part divided by the smaller part is also equal to the whole length divided by the longer part. It is often symbolized using phi after the 21st letter of the Greek alphabet. In equation form, it looks like this. I'm not about to list all of these numbers, just here it is on the screen. Anyway, the golden ratio was used to achieve balance and beauty in many Renaissance paintings and sculptures. Da Vinci himself used the golden ratio to define all of the proportions in his Last Supper painting, including the dimensions of the table and the proportions of the walls and the backgrounds. The golden ratio also appears in Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, as well as the Mona Lisa. There are patterns that naturally occur in the universe, patterns we've discovered in life, galaxies, star formations, evolution, and almost all natural systems, and the golden ratio is one of them. There's a few other patterns here, mentions of the numbers, so 3, 6, and 9 do, for what it's worth, hold some significance. But I'm still not sure if I'd call them the secrets of the universe. I have to wonder if Tesla, because he was so intelligent, relieved his OCD urges, like walking around a building, with these numbers for a reason, or if it just so happened to be his way. It's interesting to think about anyway. Now, the more I look, the less water the time travel theories seem to hold. One side also states, the only thing we do know is that a report states that in 1895, a witness found Tesla at a small coffee shop looking shaken and disturbed. His assistant claimed that Tesla was almost electrocuted by a machine as Tesla was trying to solve the time travel riddle. After nearly dying, Tesla claimed he had found himself in an entirely different time and space window, where he could see the past, present, and future at the same time, while staying within the artificially created magnetic field. Regrettably, there were no documents which were able to find or back up these claims, but if Tesla tried to achieve time travel, he surely wasn't the only scientist to try. So maybe he discovered the secrets of the universe that day. Maybe 3, 6, and 9 relate to time travel, and we won't learn why for centuries. Or maybe Tesla was a really troubled man struggling with mental illnesses. I can't say for sure. Because he was intelligent and many of his inventions are breakthroughs, it does give him some credibility, and it certainly earns him his spot in the history books. But I'm really curious to know, what do you guys think of Tesla? Let me know your take in the comments down below. If you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new here, then be sure to hit that subscribe button too, so I can keep putting out more content like this. If you guys have anything else that you want to hear about Tesla, or any other historical figure, or just an unsolved creepy mystery, then feel free to suggest it in those comments down below as well. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!